Hello guys, last video we discussed about the useReducer and useState as well in a earlier video, but I would like to explain about the both the differences guys. Why useReducer and useState? UseState also is the state management, useReducer also is the state management. As I mentioned earlier, use state is the not that much complex state management guys, and useReducer is for the predictable state management as well as the complex state management guys. The main difference between the useReducer and useState react related to the complexity of the state management and design patterns they support. Okay, let's go and have a look on one by one guys. Complex state logic. Use state it is a simpler and typically is used up for managing individual state variables or simple state structures guys. It does not inherently support the complex state and the transaction or actions. So that's what I mentioned, is not supporting to the complex state transaction or actions. Use state is simple guys. Use state you can keep in mind string, a number, single value, a number, simple array, simple objects, and these kind of things guys. Okay, it will not support in reducer. You are writing in a lot of reducer and dispatch and action is not going to be happen in the use state. useReducer it is designed for the managing more complex state logic, yes of course, and where is state transition depend on multiple sub values, or when a next state depends on the previous state. It allows for the centralized state management approach, similar to Redux. Yeah, Redux is also is the third party library guys for the state management particularly, but in React team also is found in useReducer. And now is the React 19 also is coming up, and they are coming in new and better features in future guys, making it easier handle action state updates in a predictable manner guys. So you can think about this way, like in if you have in Redux and state management, why they found in useReducer. Yeah, useReducer whenever we have the not that much complex project guys, and that means in is not growing in your application is tons of functionality, then you can don't think about in thought and go for the useReducer. If it is increasing your project and also the functionality increasing is growing in daily, that eventually I'm going to support for the Redux guys. Redux is the better and best. Okay, you can go for it. And action handling guys, use state is it does not have inbuilt support for actions or reducers of course, and as I mentioned earlier, it is only supporting single string, single number, single array, single object, in this kind of things guys. And use state is not going to actions or reducers, is not supporting. State updates are directly managed by calling the setter function returned by use state. useReducer, it uses the reducer function to handle state updates based on the dispatched actions are typically plain JavaScript objects guys, and type property, and that defines the action type, and optionally payload, yes, payload property for additional data guys. And as I showed in counter increment and decrement guys, I took the actions, I took the plain JavaScript reducer I created, and also dispatch the action, and the state you can hold the state as well as the reducers and all this stuff guys. And this is the very complex way we are going to do it. And readability and maintainability, it can be more straightforward and easier to understand simple state management scenarios. It often used when the state transactions are straightforward and do not involve in complex logic. Yeah, so useReducer, while it adds a layer abstraction with the reducer function and actions, it can be lead to more organized and maintainable code guys, and especially for components, complex state transaction, or multiple related state variable guys. Okay, so performance consideration, both use state and useReducer can perform it for managing state. The choice between them typically depends on the complexity of state logic, as I mentioned earlier guys, and the design pattern preferred for state management. So whenever you want to do it in state management guys, and you can choose like in which one you want to do it in the best way, like in useReducer, use state, which one you would like it. And next is but in more complexity, and if you want to do it in only in the state management in React, my best suggestion, go for the useReducer. No one is going to use in use state. Use state is some point you can use it in the button. If it is complex application, do not use it, and I'm not going to recommend that one. So next is, in some cases useReducer can be more efficient for components with deeply nested state. Yes, for where state updates involve computations based on previous state, guys. Yeah. In summary, useState is suitable for simple state management scenarios, while useReducer is more appropriate for managing complex state logic, handling actions, maintaining predictable state transactions. The choice between them depends on the specific requirements and the complexity of the state management within a React component, guys. Based on your requirement, as I mentioned, like if you want to do very simple functionality, guys, and use for the use state, if your application is very complexity, go for the useReducer, the best choice for the manage the nested loops, or your deeply do the nested state, and definitely need to choose the useReducer. Yeah, I hope you're understanding about the what is the difference between the useReducer and useState, guys. That's all in for this video about the useReducer and useState. Both are the state management in the React components, and the useReducer is for the complex state management. UseState is the simple state management. Manage the state, guys. That's all, guys, in this video. If I hope you like this content, and please subscribe my channel, guys, and I would like to make in more videos. That's all, guys. Bye bye now.